The Proof is in the Whiskey podcast.
I'm Eric. This is the Proof is in the Whiskey podcast. Cheers. Cheers.
Proof in that whiskey.
Definitely some good proof in that whiskey.
So yeah, watching the speech, I was only able to watch about 10 minutes of it because I was at work watching it, and then I got sidetracked with something else. But I think I literally watched enough to just cringe.
It was definitely super cringy, like I said.
Yeah,
all the way through.
Part of, and again, like he's already starting to ramp up the wanting people to already believe that the Democrat will be the way to go for 2024 election. Really, like I said, already derailing, and even if it's not Trump, he's just derailing any chance. He's trying to derail any chance for a Republican to get in there. And so, at the right around the 9-minute mark, he talks about it, and you just mentioned it too. He's like, the greatest threat to our country right now and to our republic and our democracy is the MAGA movement and Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And then followed it up with like how, him and his party is, for the people, we the people, we don't incite violence or scare tactics.
Right.
What did you just do? And
Exactly.
you have Marines, so you have two Marines
in the background standing like
is that supposed to be like a show of force? Like,
absolutely.
in a subtle way?
Especially when he was talking, and I think it's right at that 9-minute mark, where he was like, we have F-16s. What do you think you're gonna do?
Yeah,
I think it was like.
I guess
I
I think it must have been after that because I don't remember hearing that. But
so that we're extremists.
Yeah.
And that
we're a threat.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? We got F-16s.
And it's funny that he even says that because when you watch those videos, like I said, that the Caitlin Bennett type videos. Where she goes on, I'll give you an example. She goes on to an Ohio campus some years ago, and during Trump's presidency, and I did not realize that Ohio State was such a liberal college.
Yeah, unfortunately, Michigan too. I mean, a majority of universities.
A lot of the education system
such
in
a
universities.
small percentage out of all teaching staff that have a right leaning, and those are being censored and pushed down, and
it's very scary
squashed.
because or worrisome because that's the product, the finished product of someone that gets out of those schools. That's going out into our workforce, into our political, potentially our political individuals, in different states or even at the federal level, and that's the generation. What did you call it the other day? Gen Zs.
Yeah,
that are going to be running our country.
Yeah.
That's what we have to look forward to. So, and again, the brainwashing that probably is happening there. I know I'm not huge into conspiracy theories, but on some of them, I'm like, man, it's not hard to believe.
Super believable.
But back to like what I was saying, like with the Caitlin Bennett videos, and when I watched one the other day where she was at Ohio State. What started out as just her talking to like maybe 3 or 4 students about, and they were talking, they were just started bashing her. They're like, they look at her and like, you're disgusting, you're a racist. Well, why? You support Trump. They literally will say, because you support Trump. And then she'll look at him and be like, well, what did I ever say that made you call me a racist? But they just start because you
gather an
follow
entire
Trump
crowd and they start ganging up on
dude,
it, right?
like I gotta show you this video or I'll send it to you. Like it turns into a freaking mob, just hundreds. I'm talking like hundreds. Like when they left, they were trying to drive their truck through the crowd, and it's just like. And then what's worse is like there was cops that ended up coming, and she's like, "Can you take me somewhere that I don't feel threatened?"
Don't feel safe,
and he's like, "No, I can't do anything for you."
Oh, that's awful.
Like,
that's
what?
absolutely awful.
And like people are calling her disgusting, throwing stuff at her, throwing like their drinks at their truck when they were trying to leave. And it's like, so you're telling me that the Democratic Party and the liberals don't incite or entice violence?
It's my way or or fuck you. You're nothing.
I honestly don't remember seeing a Republican rally do that. So like any of the Trump rallies or anything like that. So and as soon as I just said that, I'm like, some people that are listening are going to be like, well, what about January 6th at the Capitol?
Oh, I don't even want to get into
I
January
think
6th
that's
because
totally
that has
different.
been blown all the way up, and there's some bad things about January 6th, and there's also good things about it in the sense that we did not burn down anything. We did not, and I'm saying we as the Republican Party or not as an extremist here, but it is the people's house. It is literally the people's house. We went there. And yes, did it get out of hand a little bit? But I mean, not as bad as any Antifa or any BLM movements have been. I sent you a video the other day of Steven Crowder where he did the behind the scenes behind the scenes of that drag show, the kid friendly, all ages drag show.
That's so.
And in that, if you watch the entire thing, right, they pull up and it's Antifa, and they're supposed to be like, Antifa is just an idea. No, they're so organized. I mean, they were out there in full on SWAT gear, standing to protect this fucking drag show, and it's like, what the fuck? And the city didn't know that this, it was happening. So, they condemned the entire thing. Members of the community condemned the entire thing. It was people, excuse me. It was people from out of state that came to this kid-friendly drag show. It wasn't even the members of the community that wanted to host this thing. It was just a giant thing to indoctrinate and push the agenda.
Oh, they'll definitely bring
get
people in just for show or to
absolutely
fake. I don't want to say fake support, but they know they're not going to get enough people locally, so they got to bring in outsiders.
And the LGBTQ plus LBT whatever you want to call it, right? I mean, it's such a small portion of what America actually is, but it's so insane to me that it is so pushed. It's on any TV show that you watch. There's a gay character. There's this.
They are definitely making it more. I don't know if I want to call it mainstream, but like we watched like Buzz Lightyear, the new Buzz Lightyear the other day, and like his chief officer was a lesbian.
Yeah, it's
but whatever. I mean, like I said before, and I've said, and I'll always say, I'm not against it, but it's like you don't need to shove it down my throat.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be shoved down the throat, and I feel like that's all they're doing.
Yeah, and then if you're not.
And not just like, LGBT, like all policies. It's just being shoved down your throat.
Race is always like shoved down your throat.
Yeah.
I'm not racist. I'm not prejudiced. Everyone, no matter what color you are, can be a piece of shit. Piece of shit's a piece of shit. I've always said it, and I'll always say it. So.
I fully agree with that.
But I was thinking of something here when you were. Oh, with like the gay community, right?
Yeah.
So. It's comical to me after watching an old Biden clip from back when he was, and I don't know if it was when he was in the Senate or when he was vice president with Obama, but there's literally, he is being interviewed and they bring up something about a bill or something, and he's vocalizing how he's against gay marriage, and he goes, marriage is sacred between a man and a woman, and that's it.
The world's going to Hades in a handbasket. We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here? And
I'm Chris.
I'm Eric.
This is the Proof is in the Whiskey podcast. Please like, follow, subscribe, and let us know what we need to talk about next time in the comments down below.
Love you guys.
The Brute.